Good evening and namaste to all the viewers and my dear students. You all are welcome to the Genius Lakshya live program, and we are going to start the presentation of the day. Today is the second day of the topic Central Bureau of Investigation. So let's start the presentation. So we'll start from the functions of the Central Bureau of Investigation. Okay, we know that the fundamental objective of the Central Bureau of Investigation is to combat the corruption. It fights against corruption, it fights against bribery, it fights against the misconduct of the central government employees. So we will see the various functions right now of the Central Bureau of Investigation. So the functions of the CBI are investigating cases of corruption, investigating cases of bribery, and the misbehavior or misconduct of the central government employees. Then the next functions of the CBI is that it investigates cases relating to infringement of fiscal and economic laws, that is, the breach of laws concerning export and import control, customs and central excise, income tax, foreign exchange, and regulations, and so on. Then, however, such cases are taken up either in consultation. The cases that we discussed, all these are very, very important cases, and these cases are taken up either in consultation with or at the request of the department concerned. If the concerned department requests, then based on the request of the concerned department, the Central Bureau of Investigation takes up the matter. And the next function of the Central Bureau of Investigation is that it is for investigating serious crimes having national and international ramifications committed by organized gangs of professional crimes. If there is any organized crimes by organized gangs, then such serious crimes which are of national importance, international importance, and it is committed by any gang of professional criminals, then such severe crimes are investigated by the Central Bureau of Investigation, coordinating the activities of the anti-corruption agencies and the various state police is also the important function of the Central Bureau of Investigation. Also, the CBI takes up on the request of the state government any case of public importance for investigation. If the state government requests the Central Bureau of Investigation to take off any case to take up any case, then the case is investigated or taken up by the Central Bureau of Investigation on the request of the state government. Then the CBI takes up this is repeated. So the CBI also maintains crime statistics and disseminating criminal information. So generally, it also keeps the records of all the criminal activities and crime status of the entire nation. Also, the CBI is a multifunctional body or it is a multidisciplinary body. It is fundamentally an investigation agency of the government of India or the union government or the central government, and the CBI undertakes investigation of corruption related to cases related to economic offenses and cases of conventional crimes. Generally, CBI confines its activities, its functions in the anti corruption field to offense committed by the employees of the central government. Okay, so the two most important points to be noted are CBI is a multi-dimensional or multifunctional, multidisciplinary investigation agency, and fundamentally it confines its activities or functions in the anti-corruption field of the central government employees. The Central Bureau of Investigation takes up investigation of conventional crimes like murder, like kidnapping, like rape, etc. So all these cases are generally taken up by the Central Bureau of Investigation on the reference from the state government or when directed by the Supreme Court or High Courts. Whenever the High Court or Supreme Court give direction to the Central Bureau of Investigation to take off investigation of conventional crimes like murder, kidnapping, rape, etc., then the Central Bureau of Investigation takes up such conventional crimes. Also, the Central Bureau of Investigation acts as a national central bureau of Interpol in India. The Interpol wing of the Central Bureau of Investigation coordinates requests for investigation related to activities originating from Indian law enforcing agencies and member countries of the Interpol. So, CBI has also a very important, significant role in the coordination of Interpol with, in India. Then let's see the provision of prior permission. The Central Bureau of Investigation is required to obtain the prior approval of the central government before conducting any inquiry or investigation into an offense committed by officer of the rank of joint secretary and above in the central government and its authority. What does it mean? It means CBI needs approval or permission from the central government before conducting any inquiry or any kind of investigation into the offense committed by officers of the rank of joint joint secretary or above the in the central government and authorities. So this is the provision for prior permission. However, on May 6, 2014, the Supreme Court of India held as invalid the legal provision that makes prior sanction mandatory for the CBI to conduct a probe against senior bureaucrats in corruption cases under the Prevention of Corruption Act. And the constitutional bench held that the section 6A of the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act, which granted protection to joint secretary and above officer from facing even preliminary inquiry by the Central Bureau of Investigation in corruption cases, was violative of Article 14. So definitely it is a great statement by the Supreme Court of India that both with the prior permission should not be needed for the investigation of the joint secretary and above level officers, but the constitutional bench held section 6A that Delhi Special Police Establishment Act granted protection to, it held protection to the joint secretary and above officer from facing even preliminary inquiry by the Central Bureau of Investigation cases, and it is absolutely is violation of Article 14, which is equality before the law. So, welcoming the court order, the Central Bureau of Investigation Director, the CBI Director has given a statement. So, what is the statement? Let's see. The statement says that it is a landmark judgment, means the judgment of the Supreme Court is a landmark judgment that will empower the agency in the investigation into several cases pending due to the provision that has now been struck down by the Constitution bench. We need for long we had for long been of view that inquiry against senior officials need not require any prior permission. So, the Central Bureau of Investigation Director has welcomed this order that in order to set up inquiry against any senior officers, no prior permission is required. Writing the judgment of the Central Bureau, the Chief Justice of India said that corruption is an enemy. Absolutely, it is an enemy of our country, is an enemy of our nation, and tracking down on corrupt public servants, whosoever high he may be, and pushing such person is necessary mandate under the PC Act of 1988. The status of the position of a doer, it is not the doer, not qualify the person from exemption from equal treatment. The decision making power does not segregate corruption officers into two classes as they are common crime doers and have to be tracked down by the same process of inquiry and investigation. So fundamentally, the Chief Justice of India is trying to equalize the system, whether he is a senior officer or a junior officer. Everybody should be treated equally. They should be investigated equally without any kind of prior permission from the central government of India. Again, the bench of Supreme Court said that Section 6A of Delhi Special Police Establishment Act granting protection to one set of officers is directly destructive and runs counter to the object and reason of the PC Act 1988, because the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act fundamentally speaks to protect the Joint Secretary and above level officers. It also undermines the object of detecting and punishing high level corruption. How can two public servants against whom there are allegations of corruption or graft or bribe, taking or criminal misconduct under PC Act 1988 be made treated differently because one happens to be a junior officer and the other a senior decision maker? So actually the bench has given absolutely the right observation that whether he is a senior officer or a junior officer, whenever there is any kind of allegation, any kind of corruption against them, then whether senior or junior, they should be treated equally. This is the statement of the bench. The provision in section 6A impedes tracking down the corrupt senior bureaucrats as without previous approval of the central government, the Central Bureau of Investigation cannot even hold preliminary inquiry, much less an investigation into an allegation. The protection under Section 6A has propensity of shielding the corrupt, the bench added. So the bench is trying to explain that whether a person is a senior officer or a junior officer, he should not be protected, rather he should be allowed or he should be investigated by the Central Bureau of Investigation without prior permission of the central government of India. This is what the bench has added. observing that there could not be any protection of corrupt servant. Absolutely, this is the right statement, because whether it is a junior or senior, if a person has done any kind of corruption, then he should be investigated. The bench says that the aim and object of the investigation is ultimately to search for truth, and any law that impedes that object may not stand the test of Article 14. Breach of the rules of law, in our opinion, amounts to negation of equality under Article 14, because Article 14 speaks about the equality before law. So if a person is treated superiorly or inferiorly, that means it is absolutely a negation of Article 14. So section 6A fails in the context of these facets of Article 14. Now let's see the Central Bureau of Investigation versus State Police. What is the differences? What are the fundamental distinctions? And what are the differences between the Central Bureau of Investigation and the State Police? The State Police establishment shall take up such cases which are essentially and substantially concerned with the central government's affairs and employees, even if they also involve certain state governments' employees. The state police force shall take up such cases which are substantially concerned with the state government affairs or employees, even if they are also involved in certain cases of the employees. This is the repetition. The special police establishment shall also take up cases against employees of public undertakings, statutory bodies established and financed by the central government. Then now see CBI Academy, Central Bureau of Investigations Academy. The CBI Academy is located at Ghaziabad of Uttar Pradesh district, Uttar Pradesh state, and started functioning in 1996. Before the establishment of CBI Academy, earlier the training programs were being conducted at the Central Bureau of Investigation Training Center, New Delhi. The vision of the CBI Academy is that the CBI of the vision of the CBI Academy is to excellence in training in the fields of the crime investigation, prosecution, and vigilance functioning. This is the vision of the CBI Academy. Then the mission of the CBI is that the mission is to train the human resources of Central Bureau of Investigation, State Police, and the vigilance organization to become professional, industrious, impartial, upright, and dedicated to the service of the nation. This is the mission of the organization, and the Central Bureau of Investigation Academy is The focal points of training activities within the organization and is responsible for identification of suitable training programs, regulation of nominations of trainees, and preparation of the annual training calendar. So these are all important functions of Central Bureau of Investigations Academy. Beside the Central Bureau of Academy at Ghaziabad in Uttar Pradesh, there are three regional training centers imparting training at regional level. The three training centers are located at Kolkata, at Mumbai, and at Chennai. There are two kinds of training provided. One is short term in service course and second one is long term basic course. The short term in service course training is for the officers of the Central Bureau of Investigation. This training is for the state police, for central paramilitary forces, and central government undertakings. The second training of the CBI Academy is the long term basic training for directly recruited deputy superintendents of police, sub-inspectors and constables of the Central Bureau of Investigation. So these are two trainings imparted by the Central Bureau of Investigation Academy situated in Ghaziabad in Uttar Pradesh. So today we discussed some of the important functions of the Central Bureau of Investigation. So if you have any doubt and query, definitely you can write me on my email ID. My email ID is rohitsika@geniusschool.co.in. Till then, take care. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.